I love the smell of jet fuel in the morning. Great bumper sticker for a Cessna Citation. But in this case, we're looking at the pilot's operating handbook for a different kind of Cessna. This is Redbird's new Redhawk. Now, a few weeks ago, we reported on this airplane during our AirVenture 2013 coverage, and just to refresh, the Redhawk is a remanufactured Cessna 172. Redbird is basically stripping down an older Skyhawk down to bare metal, fitting it with a Continental Centurion diesel, adding new avionics, paint, and upholstery, and pitching it to the training market as like new, which it in fact is. As for the airplane itself, it's got an engine, it's got wings, it flies well. We'll get to the performance specifics in a minute. But first, what this story is really about is the numbers. How much does it cost to buy this airplane, and how much does it cost to operate it compared to a conventional Skyhawk? Let's take a look. While you weren't looking, the Skyhawk has gotten downright expensive at $360,000 for a 2014 G1000 version. That's about $100,000 more than the median price of a new house, in case you're wondering. So if you're financing a new one and you put 25% down on a 10-year note at 6%, the monthly note will be about $3,000. Redbird hasn't set a price for the Redhawk conversion yet, but they're aiming for about $200,000. With the same loan terms, that's 25% down and 6% on a 10-year note, the monthly payment would be about $1,665, or a little more than half of the new Skyhawk cost. Of course, you have to wonder if Redbird can actually produce this airplane for $200,000, so let's put a pencil on that. You can buy a decent mid-1980s 172 for about $40,000, and this airplane is actually Redbird's second conversion aircraft. The engine package installed comes to about $71,000. You can budget to say $45,000 for this avionics package and another $30,000 for paint and upholstery. Then throw in $10,000 for incidentals and you're right around the target price, give or take. It looks doable to us. So how does it fly? To find out, we took a demo flight with Redbird's Mary Schott from the company's Skyport in San Marcos, Texas.
For the past couple of minutes, Mary Schott and I have been flying around the San Marcos area gathering data. Mary, according to my data collection, which I think is accurate, the airplane's a little slower at lower altitudes, burns a lot less fuel. Higher altitudes, it's as fast as a gas airplane, or maybe a little faster, but burns a lot less. Let's talk a little bit about the basic flyability of it. It's different than the gasoline engine as far as starting and run-up. Give us your impressions of that.
Right, I do think the starting and run-up procedures are actually simpler than the normal reciprocating engine. It's a push to start, so it's pretty foolproof. It's fuel injected, which is nice, so it's really easy to start. The run-up procedure is really easy. Literally just hold down a button and it runs through all the tests on its own. You get enunciators if any parameters are out of tolerances, so it actually makes a lot simpler as a training aircraft.
And speaking of training, what do you see as the advantage of the diesel in the training environment over the gasoline engine?
Oh, basically just the fuel burn. I see a great advantage there just because you're doing a lot of flying, you're doing a lot of power changes, you're doing a lot of maneuvers, in which case, you're going to be wasting a lot of fuel if you're constantly adjusting and readjusting your mixture setting. And obviously it burns less fuel with the FADEC and everything, so it's great.
Now the training doctrine is going to have to be changed a little bit for this airplane, is it not, from what Redbird's been teaching?
Oh, right, definitely. We'll have to go through, obviously, the systems section and the operating handbook is going to be different, so we're going to have to go through that, brief the students. Emergency procedures are slightly different, but no more complicated than normal. In fact, I think they're simpler.
Okay, let's head back to the airport.
All right, sounds good, thanks.
One last set of numbers, operating costs. This chart shows how the diesel Skyhawk compares to the gas version, and we'll zero in here on two important details. The Centurion engine is expensive to overhaul, almost twice as much as the Lycoming engine, and right now it has a very short life cycle, just 1,500 hours. Because of this, its hourly operating costs aren't much less than the Lycoming version. Now in Europe, where avgas is north of $10, the operating cost difference is much greater in favor of the diesel. Now, Continental says it wants to raise the Centurion's TBR, that's time between replacement, first to 2,000 hours and then to 2,400 hours. You can plainly see what effect this has on the operating costs, so it could be that the sweet spot for the Redhawk's economics are a year or two in the future. But in any case, it seems to be moving in the right direction. You can find a full report on the Redhawk in the October 2013 issue of Aviation Consumer. I'm Paul Bertorelli reporting. Thanks for watching.